Hi there, I'm Marina, and today I've decided to enjoy the great outdoors. Ah, oh, what was that? Oh, it was just an apple falling from a tree. Well, that's just gravity. But it makes me kind of wonder. What if we took a closer look? We know how gravity works. That's why that apple fell in the first place. If we zoom in, we find little atoms that are the building blocks of life. The study of how these atoms work is usually referred to as quantum mechanics. At the moment, physicists, just as myself, study gravity and quantum mechanics together, and we find that they go hand in hand. Well, kind of. One big exception to that can be found if we look up at the sky, and with a fancy telescope, we may see a black hole. This is a region of space that's very strange. But watch out! If you get too close, gravity is so strong that you won't be able to escape. So, are the ideas we have doomed? Well, not quite. With a new theory called string theory, we may be able to understand the intersection of quantum mechanics and gravity. However, there is a lot we still don't know. That's where I come into play and save the day. My job is important as I want to further understand quantum gravity. First, I'll need to grab some books from the library and head to my office. A chalkboard and a desk will be nice too. There are three tools that I use to help me understand gravity. First, my ideas and thoughts. Here are some things that I like to think about. Second is mathematics. It's the language of physics, and it helps us write our physical ideas down onto a piece of paper. Finally, we have to be a bit creative sometimes, as this is a difficult problem. And with that, I use the idea of dualities. So, what is a duality? Duality is a pair of ideas that are better appreciated together. We may be familiar with this word in more common contexts. For example, in everyday language, we may think of them as opposites: a dark room versus a light room, or a hot cup of coffee and cold ice cream. We may also think of a pair that is different but complementary, such as the pieces in a puzzle. In a sense, a duality states that there are two sides to every story. Looking at these dualities through the correct lens, we see that the two separate ideas are not that distinct after all. On the contrary, one complements and refines the other. In my work, a very important duality relates ideas in quantum mechanics with ideas in gravity, and puts the two ideas on the same footing. With that, we can start with our ideas of quantum mechanics, and instead of the many difficult paths we can take, we can use dualities as a shortcut to our final destination: gravity.